Davidson Reserve Rye Whiskey. This may just be a rye that a non-rye guy would like. Stay tuned to the review to find out. Welcome back to Exploring Whiskey. Today I'm going to continue this sampler review from Davidson Reserve. This is the Davidson Reserve Rye Whiskey. I already kind of went through a little bit of the history for this one. Their distillery is on the west side of Nashville. They source everything from Tennessee. The farm that they use to get all their grains is Renfro Farm in, I think it's Huntington, Tennessee. So that's all locally sourced. Then they do all their milling, mashing, fermenting, and barreling in their facility in the barreling facility in West Nashville, and then I believe they also have a rick house outside of downtown Nashville. But today we are going to do this little rye whiskey here. So this is another interesting one. I think we've kind of had a couple of these pop up recently. This is another 100% rye whiskey, but this is a Tennessee White Cereal Rye. So 100% White Cereal Rye, all sourced out of Tennessee. All right, that one did not come off nearly as easy as the first one did. All right. Give her a pop. See what happens. So we've got 100 proof. They are at least 4 years old. Guessing the blends are probably somewhere in the 4 to 6 range. And the rye is about $60 for a full bottle. Huh, that's interesting. So it's rye. You can kind of tell it's rye. It's more of the herbally. It's not super spicy, but there's a maple note. There's a sweetness in there as well, like a rock candy, maybe. This is interesting. This is really interesting. But there's a lot of herbal notes that are coming off of this. Very different than like the 95.5 MGP, spicy, kind of peppery kind of thing. Very interesting. Well, palate is very similar to the nose. It is very herby. There's a lot of I'm trying to think of the different herbs that could possibly come through in this, but it's more like a herb garden of some kind of variety. Kind of like essential oils from thyme and a lot of things like that. Really interesting. Not the maple sweet notes, the rock candy note is kind of gone, but it's still sweet. It is not the worst rye. I am not a rye guy. That's come up multiple times. This is a pretty good rye. Second sip, a little bit more of a spice note, a pepper note, but still more herbs. It's just now it's got blended together. So, you're making a seasoning, a rub mix for your barbecue, but you're putting it, not barbecue, it's definitely not a barbecue note, but, you're putting in those kinds of, a lot of herbal, like rosemary, thyme, those kind of things, but there's a little bit of cracked pepper that's coming through as well. Overall, not too bad. Pretty interesting. All right, well, let's see what some water does to this guy. Give her a quick swirl. Way more vibrant herbal notes. That's the way I'm going to say that. Way more vibrant herbal notes. There is all the same kind of notes. It did lose that rock candy sweetness note to it, but there's all those real super herby type notes that are coming through, but they're turned up a little bit. It's like, again, that essential oil type note where everything's like super concentrated. Can't say bad, but I'm going to say right now, I think I preferred the neat on the nose. All right, see what the water did for the palate. Palate's not bad. Again, it's still herbal. It's still a little bit less pepper. The proof does, I can't say it's like aggressive. There's not a burn to it. It's just apparent more. There's a little bit more warming going on right now. But that sweet note, whatever that, I don't know how to explain it. It's not sugar sweetness, and it's not even like honey, like stevia sweetness where, it's sweeter, but it's a little herbal. at the same time, so it's not like corn syrup or sugar sweetness. It's just a little bit different. Yeah, I'm gonna go with stevia. Now I come back to the nose. I kind of like that. Honestly, that is opening up to be much better, and that same herbal sweetness, floral sweetness, like raw honey maybe, but it's just not that sweet. Ooh, I get a little tea note now, like a black tea. That's opening up really nicely. I think I judged the book a little too quick after I put that water in there. That's got some really interesting notes coming through. Again, it's very solid. There's a little bit of a herbal, it's definitely herbal, a little bit of light sweetness coming through, just a touch of a spice at the tip of your tongue and like the back of your throat. It kind of skips the middle. The sweetness plays in the middle. Very nice. You know, again, not a rye guy. That's a really solid rye. I'd actually recommend that. I would definitely recommend their sampler pack. They're putting out some really interesting whiskeys, and you can kind of sample all 4 of their baseline whiskeys. If you're visiting Nashville, you stop by the distillery, you grab that, you bring it home. Easy peasy to pack that in your luggage. It's just a great deal. Hope you enjoyed my review of the Davidson Reserve Rye Whiskey. I certainly like that for a rye whiskey, for 100% rye whiskey. Really interesting flavor profile, very different notes that come through. Very, very enjoyable. So, if you could click on that little thumb down there, really appreciate a like. That helps with getting the episode shared out with other people, and I will link right here the other episodes from this little sampler pack. There's 4 in total, and very much appreciate you watching. See you on the next episode. Cheers.